All right, what's up, everyone? It's Jeremy Majors here with the Majors Academy Dog Training out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Back at you once again. Dog Behavior Q&A, where we answer simple questions or difficult questions, depending on whatever you want or need or whatever. Doesn't matter. Ask us. Your questions could directly be helping others watching now and in the future. So don't be shy. Ask questions because it is very likely that someone else that is going to be watching. Okay. All right. Ready? Here we go. Two German Shepherd dogs barking at the fence in the front yard, guarding the house. One dog turns on the other dog, turns into a fight. Okay, so basically, you got two dogs that are fighting, and it starts when they start to bark and stuff like that. So, what you want to do is work with one dog at a time on their behavior in the front yard or overall. A good training program would probably help that it's since they're fighting, you may need more help than just advice from a trainer. Um, so, but what you have to do fundamentally is get control of both dogs individually and then bring them back together. They'll stop fighting if they know that you are in control, and that even thinking about fighting will come with a consequence. Okay, so that means you have to give your dog a consequence if the dog growls at the other dog or makes the dog uncomfortable at all. That's how you will avoid fights. But so it all comes and is determined on you and the type of time that you spend with your dogs. Okay, because they can learn that fighting is not all right. And there's other options. Excuse me. Okay. Next little question. Have a dog that barks when one neighbor gets the mail, but not the others, or some family members, but not others. All right. Well, maybe the dog just doesn't like certain energy. I mean, try and think of a pattern, but more important than actually trying to figure out that there's a pattern, just be out there with your dog or wherever your dog is barking and tell the dog to be quiet. You should get your dog to stop barking if there is no reason for them to be barking. All right? Thank you for your question. Okay, one little other question. How do I get my dog to stop, to not jump slash freak out excited people when they come over? She's 8. She loves people. And so when anyone comes over, she gets overly excited that she hops and jumps around them. Well, I would also err on the side of caution on that regard. Excitement can also mask nervousness, and then as a result of her being nervous, being excited, masking the nervousness, she then decides to jump on people. People always think jumping is something that is what happy dogs do, but some dogs jump to control. When you come through the door and dogs are jumping on you, yeah, they may be happy to see you, but they're also expressing their way of manipulating the situation. So, especially if it's obsessive, especially if they have to do it every single time. Cheers, B. Especially if they have to do it every single time at every person, no matter what. Jumping turns into biting. Not every dog, obviously, but your dog should not be jumping on people. It's a way to fix that nervousness as well. Teach your dog not to jump. Teach your dog not to even rush the door when people come over. And that'll let people know that that'll let your dog know that people are okay. And it will let people know that your dog is okay. But, yeah, your dog shouldn't let your dog shouldn't make people not want to come over your house. Like, at the very least, just put the dog in the crate if you don't feel like, working it out. But the dog shouldn't be able to manipulate the situation. It's a dog. And so enjoy your guests that you have over. And let the dog go outside or somewhere else. But jumping is not just excited behavior. It can be a form of nervousness as well. All right. My dog growls at my boyfriend every time he gets home from work, even when he's in his place or on his bed. After about 5 minutes, he's fine with him. Any suggestions on how to stop this behavior? You're doing exactly what you need to do. Eventually, it'll go away. If he's on his bed and growling, then then he's choosing to stay and listen to you more so than listening to his own nervous mindset. So you're halfway there. So I would say keep doing what you're doing. Keep the dog on the bed and the nervousness will go away as long as he's listening to you. So that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. All right. Any of you guys what? Hold on, I may have some questions. Any of you guys watching? You guys do have the priority. If you guys ask questions, I'm just reading them from my email and stuff like that. But if you guys ask questions, you guys will have the priority. So um, feel free. Okay, let's see. All right. I'll answer one more question, then I'll kind of talk about the dogs that I have. Okay. All right. How do you teach your dog to be non... Oh, there's a question. Okay. Bellatrix is 8 months old. She gets car sick and does not like to be outside of the house. We would like to take her out more often, but she shuts down. Help us, please. Why does she shut down? That's really strange. Why does your dog shut down when you try and take her outside? Any reason that she doesn't want to be outside? Where would she rather be? But I do have a suggestion if you want to tell me. All right, I'm going to answer another question quick while you're typing that. Hi, Jeremy. I'm a little... Nope, wrong one. Okay. How do you teach your dog to be non-reactive? My pit is very friendly towards other dogs, but if the other dog growls or snaps at him, he will fight back. Even if it was more of a warning growl, how can I work with him to just leave another dog alone if they are irritated? You'll have to have something that will be able to convince him that it's not right to do. You'll have to have some sort of tool. You can have a doggy don't. You can even have a squirt bottle. You can even have a pet convincer or an electric collar. But he's being, I would say, being sassy as I would read that. Because if he's truly threatened that dogs are just growling at him, then he can choose to not, to sort of walk away and not, like you said, fight back. But you got to correct him the thought at the very moment that he thinks about doing that. So just, I would be close to your dog, stay close to your dog. You can even work on it with a dog that he's familiar with, so that you can make sure that everyone's safe. But the dog just has to be more responsive to you as well. You want to be able to make sure if you verbally, if you say something, that your dog actually stops doing what it does, or at least looks back to you. And so, in order to get that, though, you'll have to spend more time in that situation, getting the dog to really respect what you say. So, I would start there. Thank you for your question. Okay. All right. Is it okay if, oh, she runs back into the house? Backyard is okay. Okay. So what I would do is I just put a leash on her, and I would put her outside and shut the door and leave her outside. That's it. If she scratches at the door, I would open the door and get onto her. If she barks outside, I would open up the door and get onto her. If she does anything other than go to the bathroom or lay down, and she can play and whatnot, but if she begs to come back in, then you're going to have to discipline her for doing that. Yeah, she won't come out because she doesn't know that she has to come out. And so, like I said, if you just put that leash on her, show her the next 4 times that she has to go out, then she'll start listening to you to go outside. All right. So just put a leash on her and get her going. Thank you for your question. Okay. Is it okay if my resident dog chooses to get up off its dog bed every time my foster dog wants the bed? Or should I stop the foster dog from taking the bed he's already on? He's okay with it, but I want to do right by him and the foster in the long term. Well, if that was my dog, if that was my situation, I'd allow the foster dog to go to its own bed or another bed. If my dog is laying down comfortably, then I would just leave my dog there. So I would make the foster go to another bed is what I'm saying. All right? Okay. I think I got another question. Oh, there we go. The dog I have with severe separation anxiety is on medication for it. Do any of the dogs who come to you with separation anxiety come off their meds after working with you? Yes. All of them come off when working with me. Tell me a little bit more about that dog's separation anxiety. In what ways does that dog tell you it has separation anxiety? And I'll give you some tips. Because separation anxiety, I just had another person call me with a boxer that they had just acquired too, that had big time separation anxiety. When I leave the house, my dog destroys things because of separation anxiety. How can I? All right, so obviously we're talking about separation anxiety tonight. Sweet. All right, let's get to it. Hold on a second. All right, so separation anxiety, right? Okay, so I would say about 70% of the dogs that I have, according to the owner, he has broken through all types of crates and injured itself breaking out of them. Okay, so if you put the dog in the crate right now, what does it do while you're home? Okay, so this is how I, first and foremost, make sure dogs are not going to be barking in their crate. First, okay, so when it comes to separation anxiety, you do have to go back to basics and make sure your dog is crate trained. And I don't mean crate trained that meaning your dog doesn't go in the house. All right, that's just one element of crate training, not, teaching your dog not to pee and poop in the house, right? But true crate training is a dog is in a crate and not heard, silent, not barking, not scratching, not trying to break out of the crate. Okay, so that's what crate training is: teaching the dog to be calm in the crate when you're home. If the dog's not calm in the crate while you're home, chances are dog's not going to be calm while you're gone. Okay, so first things when it comes to separation anxiety, how calm is your dog in the crate? Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is this, for real. This is what I do with the dogs that come here that have separation anxiety. All right, and this is the first step in teaching your dog how to be crate. He's been fine with me. I tell him down in the crate, and he's been in there at night and while I was working just fine. He's fine when I'm home as well. Not sure if it's a change of environment. It could just be, yeah, that and how you're going about what you're doing, your protocol too. So maybe you solved it. But okay, so back to separation anxiety. So when you are uh, teaching your dog how to be calm in the crate, you have to remember this. You cannot let the dog out of the crate unless the dog is calm. If the dog is hyper and the dog gets what it wants, which is outside of the crate or your attention, then you're going to reinforce that behavior, which adds to the separation anxiety. You gotta portray to the dog that it's not a big deal that you've been gone. So when you walk in that door and the dog's in the crate, the dog should not be the priority. Because you want to fight against that separation anxiety. Dog's thinking, oh my God, you're home. Let's party. Let me out, let me out, let me out. You let him out, and then it's crazy time. So you want to make sure the dog stays calm in the crate when you walk into the door. Okay, even if you have to say quiet or tell him to go sit in that crate, but you should let out the silent dog. You should let out the calm dog, and you're reinforcing that he gets what he wants by being calm, as opposed to being crazy. So that's the first thing I would do. And second thing is, now once you've got them calm and you open that door, they can't just come out. They have to also sit and be patient. Best optimum way is to get the dog to sit and then wait until the dog looks at you without asking for his eye contact. Dog be looking out, right out in front, and you say sit, and you wait long enough, and then the dog does this. And then you wait there for 3 seconds. I just made a video about it. I'm going to post it on my YouTube channel, but dogs should be looking at you like this. You don't have to ask, or you shouldn't be asking. Cheers, Amy. You shouldn't be asking for the eye contact. It should just come as a thought process from the dog. Let the dog be anticipating, and then wait until the dog stops anticipating. Dog's looking straight ahead like this, intense, ready to go, on its toes. Try saying sit one more time. Dog goes, kind of steps back a little bit, and then looks up. That's almost them asking to now be let out, as opposed to saying, you open that door, I'm out. You don't want that. All right, so that's how you keep them calm in the crate. All right, that's the first step. Also, obviously, don't make leaving a big deal. Just put the dog in the crate. But in between time, right? You want to be at home with your dog, and your dog should have crate time because you have to keep him calm. You have to be able to teach him to be calm and to teach him that his barking won't get what he wants, whining won't get what he wants, scratching or anything like that. It's only going to get you something you don't like, which is, a quiet or, some sort of consequence for it. Okay. So that's that. You want to spend time at home with the dog in the crate so you can teach the dog to be calm in the crate. That's going to be your best bet in teaching the dog to be calm inside your house and in the crate to help make sure the dog does not go crazy while you're gone. Okay. And for more advanced or more tough dogs, you can get a bark collar because there are some really tough separation anxiety dogs that will not stop unless they get a high correction. So bark collars are good. But also teaching your dog to lay down in the crate is a very good thing as well. Calming thing. All right, we got a couple questions. My 3-year-old Pit all of a sudden is terrified to go outside. Another one? Runs the other way, hides, loved going outside before. We have a huge fence in the backyard and 2 other dogs she gets along great with. It's been going on for about 3 weeks. She's eating and drinking fine. We have to drag her out. What do we do about this? I'm not sure. I can't really tell you. 3 weeks is a long time. Something happened in the backyard that's got her spooked. That's weird. You should get video of it and send it to me. I may be able to help you out further. Okay, when I leave for work, dog is barking and going wild when I come home. When I leave for work, dog's barking and going wild. When I come home, he's calm and quiet. If he's in his kennel, he barks and whines forever and won't stop. A quick fix again would be a bark collar for that dog then. And I would recommend the brand called Dogtra. So it's just DOGTRAYS 600. That is the model. You can get it on Amazon, or you can get it at your local Cabela's. But it's about $80, and make sure you read the directions. But it will definitely stop the dog from barking and actually give the dog peace of mind to lay down and be calm. So that might work for you. Check it out. Okay, the other thing with separation anxiety, like I said, the most important thing, you want to make sure when you leave home, you want to have confidence that your dog's not going to do anything, tear up the house or bark his head off or anything like that. You teach the dog how to be calm in every single environment that the dog needs to be calm in. That means no playing in the house as well for a while. Cut off that. Once the dog is even out of the crate, don't let the dog just run amok. Let that dog do that outside. And then the other thing is that also the dog should be able to be outside away from you and just relaxing and chilling and enjoying outside, whether not begging to get in right away. Okay, that's also separation anxiety. So you want to build a dog who can be comfortable being independent from your attention. And a lot of dogs do definitely, in my opinion, suffer from that. It's like they are a slave to what they want. They want you so bad that they stress the heck out. I got a couple dogs back there that do that. And one of the things that we do here is while I clean their crates or while I clean the kennel, I'll have them out in the backyard where I can, see them clearly. And if they get stressed, or if they bark, or if they scratch at the door, or if they try and, jump on the fence, I'm going to correct them because I want to make sure that they can be comfortable outside away from me. Let's not let these dogs, you know, totally consume all of our attention just because they want it or they want what they want. They're a slave to what they want. And if they don't get it, then they get super stressed. That's terrible. Dog is also terrified of men. Any tips for this? Yeah, the dog just needs good experiences with men. Um, Tell men to ignore them. Just tell people to ignore them, just like you would with Django. Dogs just needs a bunch of time, but again, it's not all about having a bunch of people meet the dog and touch the dog and walk the dog. Let the dog be comfortable with you first. Dog ain't really comfortable with, the people it's staying with. Let that happen first, and then you'll see that the dog may open up to being friendly towards others, but dogs should be comfortable with you first and trusting of you first. But anyway, yeah, like I was saying, we don't want to build dogs that are so codependent on us that they don't even know how to handle being alone at all. You don't want that. You don't want that. That means then nobody else can really watch, your dog. Say your dog has to stay overnight at the vet. You don't want to be worried sick that the dog's just going to be stressed that it doesn't eat, doesn't sleep, probably pants his butt off. We got to build our dogs not to just be comfortable with us, but also be comfortable with the world and everything that has to offer. And again, sometimes if we are thinking about how to get our dogs more comfortable with the world, it puts in perspective what we should and shouldn't be allowing in the house when it's just us and the dogs. For example, it's just you and the dogs, and you let your dogs bark out the window. Well, then you're not really thinking about if it's going to be even convenient that guests may come over. Because I can guarantee if your dogs are okay barking out the window on top of your couch, barking out the window, when you invite guests over, guess what's going to happen to them? The guests are going to get molested by your dogs, barking and getting jumped all over. That's inconvenient for your guests. But you allow the barking obsessively at people and dogs outside the window. So that's a perfect example. If your dog is, again, just allowed to run around the house and do what it wants in the house, and counter surf and all that good stuff. How much of an inconvenience is it if you were to allow your dog to be watched by somebody, and then oh yeah, he does that at home, he counter surfs and stuff like that. We don't know how to fix it, so we always have to think about how the dog's going to go what the outside world has to offer, and then have a good balance of getting what we want out of the relationship, but also giving them what is necessary for it to be convenient for you to go out of town, to have guests over, to have whatever it is. And so that's what we should always keep in mind, because otherwise there are people that are literally can't go anywhere, can't let the dogs be watched by anyone, and the people's first vacations are when their dog comes and board and trains with me. I mean, which is kind of nice, but still. Don't let your dogs be totally in control of your life. All right, let's see if we've got any more questions. So yeah, that's that about separation anxiety. So we had 3 different people ask about it, and I hope that those tips helped. Again, at the end of the day, it's up to you to show them to be calm in the crate, but you have to be there, spending enough time with the dog in the crate. Take a walk first. Let the dog play first, so that the dog can be a little bit less anxious to begin with before you start that. All right. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna hop off here, but please give me your last little thumbs up. I don't even know how they benefit, but it's kind of cool. So give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.